What's up everyone, I'm back at y'all with another video. Now for this one, this is going to be a video of talking about my favorite action franchises of all time. You know, like these are movies that are my favorite action franchises of all time. You know, I love a lot of action films, but these are just my favorites. My favorite of all time. Favorite action franchises of all time. Without a doubt. So yeah, these are going to be my favorite action franchises of all time. Now, I love every single one of these movies a lot. These movies I rewatched the most. So yeah, now let's begin talking about my favorite action franchises of all time. Now first up, we're going to talk about the John Wick franchise. Now apparently they're working on John Wick chapter 4 and 5 as we speak. Now I love the John Wick movies. In my opinion, these movies only just keeps getting better. You know, I love the first one. They didn't know how this was going to work. And then it turned out to be like almost a masterpiece. And the original John Wick is one of the greatest action movies. One of them of all time. And then John Wick Chapter 2, they get better. They up the action from the first movie. And each action scene is just incredible in this film. Then John Wick Chapter 3. Even better than 1 and 2. It's like the second one's better than the first one. The third one's better than the second one. So it's like they keep getting better and better and better. And it makes me more excited what's going to happen in John Wick Chapter 4 or 5. It gives me, you know, a lot of hope that 4 and 5 is going to be incredible. So yeah, John Wick Chapter 3 is one of my favorite action films of all time. And what's crazy is they keep making more money each time they make them. And stuff. So yeah, John Wick franchise, freaking a badass franchise. Love it. Love this franchise to death. Next up, we're gonna talk about the Expendables franchise. Now, hopefully, we get the Expendables 4 one day. Now, there's rumors about. I don't know if there's a rumor or not about. The Expendables 4 is gonna have like it's gonna have one based on one character and like, you know, Lee Christmas, like. You know, Jason Statham's character, Lee Christmas, could be about him. I'm like, I don't know. The Expendables franchise is about all these action stars coming together. And why would we want to see a spinoff if we can watch a lot of other standalone Jason Statham films? I don't get that. It works with Fast and Furious because there's like a lot of stories that could tell. They introduce new characters and all that stuff. It worked in Hobbs and Shaw. It worked perfectly in that. But I don't think it'll work in the Expendables because all these characters are supposed to be in one movie. So hopefully that was just a rumor about the movie's just going to be about him. But hopefully that's just a rumor because I want to see an Expendables 4 with all the cast members back in the film. Because the Expendables 4 could be huge if they get everybody back, and plus, you know, get some new characters, like get Keanu Reeves, get Jackie Chan to join the team or something, you know, or get Keanu Reeves to play the villain, you know, just introduce new characters in the Expendables 4. And if you can make it the final one, they need to have a good story with the action, like have the best story in the franchise with a lot of action. So yeah, that's what they should do. So yeah, the Expendables franchise is amazing. I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan, and you know, of course, Stallone is probably one of the best action stars of all time, and he's sort of the main character in these films. He's the boss, but in these films, but with all these other characters. So yeah, this franchise is amazing. I love the Expendables 1, 2, and 3. A lot of people don't like the third one. I still think it's a fun movie. So yeah, the Expendables franchise, love this franchise. Now next up, we're going to talk about, now a lot of people consider these as dramas. These are action too, they're action drama. And that is the Rocky franchise. Now, I love this box set that came with like 6 Rocky films, 1 through 6, you know. And then the Creed movies are also Rocky movies because they're in the same story, the same stories, but also they also do different stories. But like, it's still part of the Rocky franchise. It's about Rocky Balboa training Apollo Creed's son and stuff, but with the awesome stories involved in them. So yeah, the expendables, Rocky franchise, damn good. The expendables franchise and the Rocky franchise, great movies. Stallone, he's one of my favorite action stars of all time. Next up, we're going to talk about the Bad Boys franchise. Now, I remember a while back I bought this 2-pack, Bad Boys 1 or 2. This is when I haven't even heard of Bad Boys before. The movies, Bad Boys. And then I bought this for only $5 at Walmart a long time ago. And then I watched them. I thought they was okay at the time. And then, when I got older, I watched them again. I loved them. I loved them a lot more. I freaking enjoyed the hell out of these movies. The first one's good. The second one's better than the first one's kind of like that John Wick franchise. Each film got better. And then Bad Boys for Life ended up being better than 1 or 2. They just keep getting better and better and better. And what I love about Bad Boys for Life is they wanted to have a good story. They wanted to have the best story in the franchise. That's what I want the Expendables 4 to do. Is let them have the best story in the entire franchise with a lot of action. So that's exactly what they should do, because this movie proved the success of this film, because they concentrate on the good story first and then the action. And that's why this film is so good. And this film has some badass action scenes with a lot of great stories and a lot of good laughs. So yeah, these films are funny as hell. They're awesome. And 1 and 2 didn't have the best story in the world, but they did have great action scenes. They have a lot of good action scenes and a lot of great comedy. And this film comes around, they end up topping off both of them in 1 and 2. So yeah, I cannot wait to see Bad Boys 4 one day. This is going to be a big franchise, because it's kind of like the John Wick franchise, because each film makes more and more money, and that's just freaking amazing. Each film makes more and more money each time with these films, just like John Wick. John Wick and the Bad Boys movies. Watch, if they keep making Bad Boys movies, that can be in the $1 billion club one day. So yeah. Next up, our favorite action franchise is the Avengers franchise, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's just say that. I have almost all the movies, but I don't want to just almost all Marvel movies, but I don't just feel like grabbing all of them and putting them on here. And stuff, because that's a lot of damn movies to bring out. And this Marvel Cinematic Universe, they probably only have 1, maybe 2, 3 bad movies out of the whole bunch. And let's face it, they have 20-something movies. 22 or 23 movies or something like that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And only 2 or 3 of them are the only bad ones. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, Marvel is one of my favorite action franchises of all time, because they have more great movies than bad movies. I love the Captain America trilogy. The first one's good. The second one's better. I love Captain America Civil War. There's so many great Marvel movies out there, and they're always rewatchable. They're just freaking incredible movies. I love them to death. Marvel is it's crazy what they can accomplish, and it's crazy, And then, of course, they're not realistic, because we don't go to the theaters for realism. Just face it, look how much money Avengers Endgame made. Almost $3 billion at the box office. People don't go to the theaters for realism a lot. Because you got to turn your brain off in a lot of movies. Then enjoy them, because that's the way the movies work a lot of times these days. So yeah, the Avengers franchise, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general, is freaking incredible. I just love I just love Marvel. Avengers Endgame. I went nuts in the theater, and I never went nuts that much in a movie in a long time since Furious 7. Because Furious 7 is one of probably my favorite action movie of all time. And now we get to my number one, which is, I wasn't ranking these. I'm just showing y'all my favorite action franchise of all time. But Just saying, this is my #1 action franchise of all time. The Fast and Furious franchise. Now, yes, a lot of people consider the original Fast and Furious movie as a Point Break ripoff. But I never seen Point Break. But I did look up clips and I can see what they're saying, but yeah, like, I just don't get a lot of the hate that goes around with this franchise. Yeah, this franchise does have a big fan base, a very big fan base, but there's also the people that don't like the film, always bash it. Like, people that don't like the film always act like it's the worst film ever. I'm like, what? This franchise is badass. But the first one is a decent film. It's not the best, but I still consider it as a very good movie. Too Fast, Too Furious, which is I just got finished filming Too Fast, Too Furious review for my Fast and Furious review series. So if you haven't checked it out, please check that out. Too Fast, Too Furious, very fun movie. Love this movie a lot. And then Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, very underrated film. I love this film a lot. This is the first Fast and Furious movie I've ever seen. The first one I've ever watched. And next up, we got Fast and Furious. This might be my least favorite in the franchise, but I still enjoy the film a lot. Next up, we have Fast 5. When I saw this movie, I didn't know what to expect. I remember seeing the trailers back when it first came out, and I said, holy shit, this is going to be a good movie. And it was. It's crazy how you go from the first one, the second one, the third one, and even the fourth one, and then jump right into this one. And that's crazy. That's crazy, you know. And Fast 5. That's all I gotta say. You know, they freaking racing cop car. The whole team did in the film, and then Dom fights up against the Rock. Badass movie. Then Fast and Furious 6. Very enjoyable. Lots of great action scenes. Love this film. Great story. Then Furious 7. My favorite action movie of all time. Up until Fast 9 comes out, because that might end up taking the mantle. But yeah, my favorite action movie of all time. James Wan directed the Furious 7 movie, and it was incredible, man. What he was be able to do with this film, because Paul Walker, you know, rest in peace to Paul Walker. And it was hard for him to film the rest of this movie, but this film has action from start to finish. This film has the best soundtrack in the whole franchise, in my opinion, and it has the awesome emotional ending, the tribute to Paul Walker. Freaking amazing. This film is just incredible. You know, it's incredible. There's a few emotional scenes in there in the film. Great action scenes, great fight scenes. The best fight scenes in the whole franchise, in my opinion. The best fight scenes in the whole entire franchise. So, Furious 7 is my favorite action movie of all time. Love this movie to death. Next up, we have Fast 8, The Fate of the Furious. Dom went rogue. Great fight scenes, great story, great soundtrack. But not as good as Furious 7 soundtrack, of course, but not the movie ain't as good as Furious 7 either, because Furious 7 has the best action scenes in it. This film does have a lot of great action scenes. A lot of it. So yeah, Fast 8. Love this movie. I rewatched this movie a lot. Next up, we have the Fast and Furious spinoff, Hobbs and Shaw. They introduce new characters. You know, that's probably going to appear in the franchise. This is going to be like a big crossover event soon, so probably, and stuff, because they introduce new characters. This could be like a big Avengers Endgame type an event when the last Fast and Furious movie comes out or something like that. So yeah, Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. Damn good movie. I love this movie a lot. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below, you know, what's y'all's favorite action franchise of all time. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. If y'all enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe and share, and also hit the bell so you know when a new video is uploaded. Peace out. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'm out. Peace.